Please come on. Good afternoon. Please take your chair.
Thank you, sir.
Kanisk, introduce yourself briefly.
So my name is Kanish. I'm a 26-year-old software engineer. I've done my BTech in software engineering from Delhi Technological University. I am a Delhiite, but my roots lay in Bihar. But due to the nature of my father's job, I have had an exposure to multiple states of this country. My dad's in the insurance sector. My mother manages our house. I have one elder brother. I'm interested in science fiction, reading science fiction novels and defense technology.
Okay. Yes. Kanisk, you have stayed in Bhagalpur you have done 10th.
Yes, sir.
Your mother is from Muzaffarpur.
Yes, sir.
You have a Patna connection also.
Yes, sir.
You have a Delhi connection also.
Yes, sir.
And you have a Mumbai connection also.
Yes, sir.
Tell something about these 5 cities.
I'll start with Delhi, sir. Delhi is the national capital of this country. It is a union territory, and for over 1,000 years, it has been the political center of the geographical landmass known as the Indian subcontinent. Some of the most famous monuments of Delhi include Red Fort and the Chandni Chowk area in itself. I'll move to Mumbai. Mumbai is the financial capital of this country and the state capital of the state of Maharashtra. It is blessed with a very vibrant cosmopolitan culture. And it also is, due to being the financial capital, it is host to headquarters of multiple of the India's largest multinational companies also. After that, I'll move to Bhagalpur. Bhagalpur is a city where I have done my 9th and 10th classes from. It is mostly famous. It was for its Tasar silk, which is something which was unique to Bhagalpur. It is located on the banks of river Ganga. And 𝐵 𝐸𝐻 is a very pivotal development project which connected Bhagalpur to the bank across river Ganga. Recently, Zardalu Aam, which is a native variety of Bhagalpur, was accorded GI tag. Moving to Muzaffarpur, it is my mother's home place. Muzaffarpur is a district headquarter. It is widely known for its Shahi Lichi, which has also been accorded GI tag in 2018. Apart from that, it is its proximity to Barauni Thermal Power Plant, which was one of India's first supercritical thermal power plant built with Soviet assistance. And that is about it.
And Patna?
Patna, Patna is the state capital of Bihar. But apart from that, right from 2,500 years or so, it has been the political center of the Magadh Empire also. Patna has also played host to a lot
You
of...
know well on this. Why have you chosen anthropology as your subject?
Right, sir. So my graduation subject was software engineering, which is not a part of the optional lists as specified by UPSC. When I looked into the probable subjects which I could pick, anthropology struck me out for 2 major reasons. One was that I have always been interested in how humans as a species have evolved, our society, our culture, and various physiological evolutionary traits which humans share. And as a reader of science fiction, that is something which connected with me. And another reason is the syllabus of anthropology was something which I found very concise, which I thought I could give most attention to and gain maximum traction out of it.
You have taken IRS 4th and 5th, custom and indirect tax,
Yes.
and then direct tax, income tax.
Yes.
Can you distinguish between indirect tax and direct tax?
So indirect taxes are those which are levied on the manufacturer of the product but borne on by the customer of the product. And direct tax is something which is levied on the income. In that sense, GST is an example of indirect tax, whereas income tax is an example of direct tax.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Kanish. Who was Kanish? To start with, your name derived from that historical figure.
Yes, sir. Kanishk was a Kushana emperor. The Kushanas were one of the major rulers who originated from Central Asia and were formed after the 5 tribes of UEZs were combined. Their reign extended from the northwest frontiers all the way to the Gangetic Plains. And they were instrumental in the sense that they were one of the first dynasties to introduce gold coins in large circulations.
What was the period of Kushana rule?
The period was somewhere around 3rd century AD.
Third AD, post Ashoka.
Yes.
Much after that.
Yes.
Okay, now I see that you have interest in following latest developments in military technology and equipment.
Yes, sir.
This is very interesting. Yes. Now, who are the main exporters in the world of defense equipments? Does India figure in top 5?
No, sir. India does not figure in the top 5. The top exporters of defense equipment in terms of country, if I have to say, they would be the United States, China, Russia, France,
yes,
Israel.
Okay, and importers?
Sir, in terms of importers, India, China.
No, largest importer is India, you mean?
Either it's Saudi Arabia or India. I'm unable to come up with the top ranking ones.
Okay. Now, this you have latest generation of fighter aircraft, tanks, missile, and submarine.
Yes, sir.
Which are the latest generations of fighter aircraft?
Right.
Because these days, now is the day of lot of wars going on everywhere, and every day we hear stories of new generation aircraft.
Yes, sir.
So what is the latest generation of aircraft?
Sir, I'll start with fighter aircraft. If we talk operationally, the 5th generation fighters are the most advanced generations in service as of now.
Okay.
If we go by country, the US has the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II aircraft, which are 5th
Does India have 5th generation fighter aircraft?
No, sir. India does not have 5th generation in operation, but we do have an advanced medium combat aircraft, which is supposed to have its first flight in next year, 2020.
But will that suffice for the lack of 5th generation fighter aircraft?
So the 𝐝𝐚𝐬, it would not be fair to just call it a 5th generation aircraft. A lot of the technologies and the envisaged feature include 5.5 generation features, such as manned-in-man teaming.
Okay, let us come to tank.
Yes, sir.
How useful is tank in the modern warfare?
So
it is mostly fought by air and missile. Tank is very limited use, but still.
So modern warfare, from what I understand, is a result of combined arms action. Towards that end, tanks are extremely
important.
Yeah, very important to break enemy front lines.
Okay.
Whereas if we soften enemy defenses using air operations.
Of course, Zaporizhia and Kursk, they are tank warfare,
Yes. Yes.
Occupation. Yes.
However, in the recent Russia-Ukraine war, we did see that swarm drones and various other kinetic weapons have complicated tank operations.
Tell me, what is the issue of drones? Because Iranian drones are considered to be very, very they are difficult to handle. And Russia has been using Iranian drones. Now, what is the latest generation in drones?
So first, I'll address the primary challenges which drone have introduced into modern warfare. First is they are extremely difficult to detect and shoot down using the present weapons we have. Second, they are very cheap to build and operate, and the destruction they wreak upon the enemy is disproportionate. A $50,000 drone can disable a multi-billion-dollar frontline warship, like we saw with the Moskva.
So why India is not developing its own drones? Because India is very backward with regard to drones generation.
So I would accept that India has not been keeping at the forefront of drone development, but a lot of progress is being made in drone development in India. A lot of private players are being encouraged using programs like IDEX by the government of India.
So what exactly is the difference between drones and fighter aircraft?
So the first difference is that drones are remotely operated and fighter aircrafts are crewed by human
Okay.
beings.
Yeah.
Second is depending on which drone and which category of fighter aircraft we are comparing, drones have less payload but higher loitering capability compared to fighter operations. Because, for example, the Sea Guardian drone, which the Indian Navy operates, it has an on-station time of exceeding 48 hours. Now that would not be possible with a crewed aircraft.
Okay, thank you. Our time is up, so it is interesting, and you have good knowledge. If you have the interest, you are pursuing that.
Thank you, sir.
So all the best. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Kanisk.
Good morning, sir.
I will also continue on the defense theme. A few questions.
Yes, sir.
And tell me that what did Elon Musk say about F-35?
So as per Elon Musk, he said that the F-35 is outdated and that drone is the future of modern warfare.
Just drones or
Primarily, he was referring to network-centric AI-powered
swarm drones? Swarm drones.
Yes, swarm drones. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right. So tell me that F-35 is very expensive. It is being, frequently it comes out that India should consider buying F-35. Is it really worth buying F-35?
So I'll accept that the F-35 is one of the most advanced fifth-generation platforms out there. But I don't agree with the argument that India should go for the F-35 route. And I have three primary reasons for that. One is that F-35 is prohibitively costly to own and operate for a country which is not part of the NATO architecture like India. Second, we will not have full control over the operational mandate of the F-35 because US, in terms of its frontline platforms, often makes the customer sign end user agreements. So that is something which we should avoid. Other than that, if we pour money into the F-35 procurement, our own indigenous fighter development programs will be strapped for money. So that is something I think we should avoid at this particular
Right. Okay, one more question. Aircraft carrier versus nuclear submarine. You had limited resources. What would you spend on?
So first I will go for nuclear powered submarine.
Right.
For a country like India, deterrence and a nuclear triad is something we should keep in mind.
Yeah.
Aircraft carriers are, while very useful in projecting power,
Right.
a carrier battle group needs a various number of support ships, destroyers, refuelers. So it is a very costly enterprise. If we have to operate an aircraft carrier, it is not just about building the aircraft carrier. We have to procure fighter aircraft, build support ships. And that is a very costly enterprise.
Yeah. Now today you might have read the newspapers about Donald Trump and foreign policy and U.S. foreign policy, which is relevant to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Did you read two latest developments?
Sorry, sir, I have not read today's newspaper.
Yeah. Okay. Any case, I'll tell you to make it easier that there are some new sanctions proposed by the outgoing or announced by the outgoing U.S. administration, Biden.
Right.
Yeah, on ships insurance, which covers ships carrying Russian oil.
Right.
Right. So additional sanctions by Biden administration, which is outgoing. Only few more days left.
Right.
The second news item is that Trump is and Russian side have almost confirming that they are going to have talks very soon.
Right.
Times of India today says it. How would you understand this?
Sir, I would say that the outgoing Biden administration's actions are in consonance with what they have pursued over the last year or so. That is to isolate Russia economically and militarily.
So, but why announce now, 10 days away? Leave it to Trump to handle.
So that would be the correct thing to do. But ultimately, American politics is something I don't have much knowledge on. So I cannot comment on that aspect. However, President Trump, from what he has spoken publicly, has made it clear that he intends to solve the Russia-Ukraine conflict in a manner which has not yet been adopted by the present US administration. So it remains to be seen what policies come out once he takes over.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, in course of your interview, you told once Mumbai is the financial capital of India,
Yes.
apart from being the state capital of Maharashtra.
Yes.
Where do you get this information that Mumbai is the financial capital?
So it is an oft-repeated line in various publications. But apart from that, it is the richest city of India in terms of gross domestic product. It is the headquarters of Reserve Bank of India.
No, but nowhere it is written officially that is the financial capital, like it is the state capital of Maharashtra. Do you make a comparison between the two?
Right, sir.
I mean, somebody can say this is the education capital, this is the cultural capital, this is financial, but
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I don't know if any official.
okay, no issues. How do you differentiate between anthropology and sociology?
Sir, I'll start with sociology. Sociology, to the best of my knowledge, as I don't have much background in the subject, is a study of how human society has evolved and how it has become what it is. Whereas anthropology, as we understand by the four-field model given by Franz Boas, is a much more detailed and comprehensive study of humans overall. As Aristotle said, anthropology is gossip of the man. How man has evolved physically from the time he was a primate to how our societies gathered has evolved to this present industrial civilization from the days of us being bands of hunter-gatherers. How we look, how we study the various archaeological finds we may discover. All of that is covered by anthropology, which is not particularly the focus of sociology.
Do you know there is something called social anthropology?
Yes, sir.
There is something called physical anthropology and there is something called social anthropology.
Yes.
If they are only talking about physical aspect of it, then what is social anthropology?
So social anthropology deals with the study of society and culture primarily. Various institutions of humans like religion, marriage.
But when I asked you about anthropology, you confined yourself to physical anthropology component only. I didn't ask you about physical anthropology. I asked you about anthropology, isn't it?
Right, sir. I'm sorry, sir, if I gave that impression.
Okay.
Like I said, anthropology is the study of man, and man is more than the physical body he is.
Okay. Do you believe in the Darwinian theory of evolution?
So the Darwinian theory of evolution certainly had its merit when it came out, but it has been surpassed by the synthetic theory of evolution, which is the established theory which is accepted by scholars today. Definitely some facets of the Darwinian theory have been incorporated in that.
No, but is it scientifically proven? Can it be scientific to say it was correct?
No, sir. That is why the synthetic theory of evolution, which is what is followed today, has validated certain aspects of Darwinian theory. However, a lot of Darwinian theory has not been proven to be scientifically accurate.
Okay. You like wildlife photography.
Yes, sir.
But don't you think wildlife photography is something against the welfare of the wildlife? Because you are disturbing those animals by.
Sir, I acknowledge that it is a very valid concern, and especially in the recent past, we have seen many events in which wildlife photography has led to disturbance of equilibrium of nature. However, I would like to say that a lot of wildlife conservation efforts have been led by wildlife photographers and the work they have put out. For example, in Argentina, a photographer, his name is Marco Estes or something. He led the conservation campaigns of certain species of primates using his photographs, and he generated considerable attention towards the plight of those monkeys. I think photography, wildlife photography in particular, is a tool, and it depends on the individual as to what he does with that tool. I belong to that.
My last question to you.
Yes.
As a software engineer
Yes.
in the military technology
Yes.
in India,
Yes.
what are the 3 things you can think of if the defense minister asks for advice? Suggest 3 things that can be introduced.
So first and foremost would be softwares for cyber warfare, which would provide us an edge, competitive edge, to our frontline combat troops. in the sense of giving them the look first, shoot first capabilities. Second one would be to use software as a tool to improve logistics of our military, to increase jointness and integration. And third would be more inward looking, in the sense that often I've seen that a lot of social media information of our defense personnel are being mishandled and misused by inimical forces. We should have a certain software apparatus which would protect against such misgivings.
Okay, that's all from us.
Thank you.
How did your interview go? What's your impression about it?
Sir, I feel that there can be improvements in the domain knowledge which I have with respect to certain things. For example, in the software question you just asked, I should be aware of the latest software initiatives which the Government of India is taking specifically with the Ministry of Defense. Along the lines of anthropology, I think my answers could have been more pointed and concise, accurate. With respect to the historical sections which learned members asked, again I thought I was not very concise with the dates which were asked. I think, and sir started with my knowledge about the places I've been in. I think that can also be improved on. And that is my summary of it.
Yeah. Ritik, you are Kanisk.
Yes.
Very smart you are. Very well dressed. The postures are also very good and you speak very well. So you're excellent already. Two things I would like to say. This GST is an indirect tax.
Yes.
It is basically paid by you.
Yes, sir.
You, suppose you eat here, they will give you a bill
Yes.
and then they will charge you something. So it is paid by you, collected by hotel or service or goods provided, collected by shop or somewhere, and they then pay it to government. This is why it is indirect tax.
Right.
The person who is paying to government is indirectly through a
Intermediate.
enterprise seller, like in LIC also. Your father is in LIC.
Yes.
If you see the bill, GST is charged.
Yes.
Most of the things.
Yes, sir.
And indirect tax, Kanishka earns, Kanishka pays, he files his own return. This is one thing. And regarding this Bombay being financial capital, it's a very popularly said everywhere.
Yes, sir.
गूगल में भी आप करेंगे तो मुंबई के दास्तान में बोलेगा इट इज ए फाइनेंशियल कैपिटल.
Yes, sir.
तो लूजली दिस टर्म इज यूज बाय पत्रकार जिनको फाइनेंशियल और मॉनेटरी के बीच में भी डिफरेंस नहीं पता है. आप डू यू नो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी एंड फिस्कल पॉलिसी?
Sir, from what I know, monetary policy is how money and liquidity is controlled in
Yes.
the economy,
Yes.
which is controlled by the Reserve Bank.
Reserve Bank. Yes.
And the fiscal policy is a more comprehensive measures. It relates to taxation and
नहीं बड़ा सिंपल है. फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री की जो पॉलिसी है ना वो फिस्कल है.
right.
बजट अभी बनेगा
Yes, sir.
तो वो सब फिस्कल है.
Right.
अब मनी सप्लाई से रिलेटेड जो पॉलिसी है वो मॉनेटरी है.
Yes.
तो बैंकों का कैपिटल तो बॉम्बे है.
Yes.
चाहे स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हो, LIC हो, RBI हो.
Yes.
अगर कहना भी था समझदार आदमी को तो कह सकते थे लूजली की मॉनेटरी कैपिटल है.
Right.
बट चलिए चलता है ये टर्म लूजली चलता है. सर ने ठीक बताया कि जो ऑफिशियली है
Yes.
वन शुड स्टिक टू दैट.
Right.
और थोड़ा सांस्कृतिक चीज़ों पे भी ध्यान दीजिए. जैसे बम्बई में भी बहुत सी एलिफेंटा बगल में है.
Yes.
हाँ, आपके भागलपुर में जो है वहाँ भी बहुत सांस्कृतिक रूप से बहुत महत्वपूर्ण विक्रमशिला का विश्वविद्यालय था. पटना जो है सो एंशिएंट इंडिया में इट वाज कैपिटल ऑफ मौर्य एम्पायर एंड दिस थिंग. थोड़ा सा इसको पढ़ के कहीं नोट बना लीजिएगा. हो सकता है 5 मैंने तो पूछ लिया है, हो सकता है कोई एक ही पूछिए आपसे.
Yes.
अच्छा कर रहे हैं आप.
Kanisk, you are very good, like at least on your physical side, right? Eye contact, dressing, and your body language, everything is perfect. So, and then knowledge also, knowledge depth is good. Of course, you have to, when is your interview?
So 19th March.
So you have sufficient time now, almost 2
19th
two
March.
months.
Yes.
2 months.
Plenty of
So you better, like you give fully yourself into preparation, no? Current affairs and those issues, no? On your DAF.
Yes.
That is very important. then you'll make it. No, there is no question why, because you have all the other accompanying factors going very well.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right, all the best.
Thank you.
This is your which chance?
Fourth attempt, sir.
Fourth attempt.
First
But
interview.
fourth attempt, lucky you are.
First
First interview?
Yes.
So you
Okay,
you should make it. You should attempt to make it fully this time.
Yes.
You're good.
I think we both, in a way, tested out knowledge, so you can sustain. But you may like to, like you hadn't read today's newspaper, right? So that is a wrong way of approaching an interview.
Yes.
Even here, when you're sitting, you can always check on your mobile if there's some
Yes.
latest news. Just be sure, because very important developments.
Yes.
Right? Today, Trump is going to meet Russia, almost confirmed now,
Yes.
and the State Department, right? They want to create problems for the incoming president,
Yes, sir.
right? So that's something that will, yeah. Then I think on the military thing, just one or two things you might, the connected items, just remember that China's 6th generation aircraft, that has caused certain kinds of alarm, and what is a 6th generation aircraft in the first place,
Yes.
right? Then linked question, Agniveer also.
Yes.
If platforms are so important and so successful, then do you need human beings in this large numbers, and paying them pensions, etc. So these are all linked questions,
Yes.
right? So it won't be single just on the military platforms or equipment, but linked to doctrines and yeah, right. So otherwise, escalatory mechanisms also.
Yes.
I reduce my army, but if tomorrow somebody takes advantage and tries to
Yes.
provoke me, then I will indicate that I am going to take first use at some point.
Right.
So all these first use policy doctrines and all, you may need to take.
Sir, I have one clarification which, if possible, you could advise me on. On matters of defense, there are certain, policies in which I have a particular point of view, which to some people it may sound to a bit hawkish. Should I moderate my stance in the interview, or should I let it come out like?
Factual, no. Only if your opinion is asked on something, because you have given factual informations. But what would you like to know about your advice on defense policy or something like that, or budget or expenditure or what?
Like, for example, if it is to say about arming countries on China's periphery. Now, to some, like we have exported BrahMos to Vietnam, and we are exporting equipment to other Chinese neighbors. Not to a certain school of thought that is said that it is provocative. I don't agree with that school of thought.
No, that is very correct. No? Why
Actually,
India
giving
should
your
not-
opinion is all right, provided it has got sufficient logic behind it. You should stick to your knowledge base.
Right.
Like you are a software engineer, and you have emphatically said that you are interested in military technology.
Yes.
So somebody could be asking you to dive in detail into
Yes.
software and military technology rather than the policy level.
Because it is not expected of you also at your level, policy and other higher defense strategy and things like this. Someone may ask, but then whatever you know, that is based on
Like you
facts.
rightly said about social media and the defense, suppose one is saying.
Yes.
Because sometimes defense is maligned, particularly in Kashmir, Manipur, and other places. Where does the software engineer come to picture? That's where you are the expert. You are supposed to be knowing better than anyone in the board. That is one component. But at the same time, while talking about foreign policy or exporting or importing something, that is where you are not an expert.
Yes.
You get my point?
Yes.
Unless you are asked to air your opinion, you should not be forthcoming with.
Right.
This is to stick as close to government positions as possible. BrahMos has been studied and
Exactly.
given. But the moment you deviate, you won't be in control. You
Yes.
won't know what are the factors, why we should not give. Right? The MTCR itself bans anything more than 300
kilometers.
Yes. So don't try to stick close to this. Your job right now is to get through the interview and do well, not to open yourself. Vulnerable you become. So that's the simple thing. In anything, stick as close to government positions with a few ideas if people ask you, but don't give too radical ideas because the Taiwan is.
Secondly, you don't have access to all the information
Yeah.
to talk about a particular thing. Suppose we have India-China foreign policy.
Yes, sir.
What is the compulsion in having that foreign policy whatever inputs are available to the foreign secretary is not available to you and me.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So, unless one is provoked or asked to do it, don't venture into that.
Yeah.
But anthropology, you got to brush up a little more
Yes.
because that's a difficult terrain for you.
Yes.
Time both hai. Time hai, you should do little bit of brushing of knowledge about anthropology,
Yes, sir.
about military technology, and you can think about how software engineer can support.
Right. Sir.
And there, I think you can influence the board very well.
Right. Sir.
You are confident, and your attitude, personality, everything is perfect. You are definitely going to do well. Just prepare a little bit more. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
और जो नहीं आता है पोलाइटली यू कैन से क्या है
Right.
वो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं
Yeah. All the best.
Thank you, sir.